for those of you that are going to be watching this video, I want to apologize in advance for the lighting. The lighting is going to balance itself out around the 9-minute mark, but you got like 40 minutes to spend with your girl. So around the 9-minute mark is going to balance itself out. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's not going to be like that throughout the whole video. But I sat there for like 20 minutes trying to balance it and it wouldn't do anything. So 9-minute mark, the video will balance itself out around 9:20, 9:30, but somewhere around up in there. See you guys in the video in a second. Yes! Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your sister from another mister, ThickChickVlogs, and y'all have been asking, and I am here to deliver. For those of you, I know a lot of my subscribers probably don't watch The Walking Dead, and girl, that is perfectly fine, but let me tell you something. Thick Chick is an avid enthusiast. Is that the proper way to say it? I love The Walking Dead, needless to say. So for those of you who have been asking me to come on and do a review, a recap, a reaction to The Walking Dead, the mid-season premiere, okay? The episode 9, which is No Way Out, and episode 10, which is it the New World, okay? The New World. So episode 9 and 10, I'm going to be doing a recap of. Not sure how long this video is going to be, girl. I have me some ice right here because I know my mouth is going to get dry because I'm going to be rambling on for ain't no telling how long, okay? And for those of you who don't watch The Walking Dead, who just so happen to stumble upon this video, I know y'all are probably looking for a new video. I will be doing a live show tonight. I was going to be doing one yesterday, but I'm definitely going to be doing a live show tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the YouTubes, okay? So if you're not subscribed and you want to see a girl live, you want to chat, you want to have a little bit of interaction, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe and click that notification button. That way you know whenever I'm live, or go and add me on Facebook. Those links and everything will be down in the description box of this here particular video, okay, girl? Let me get a whiff of my eyes, okay? Because this shit was intense, bitch. It was intense. Quit playing. Okay. All right. So. Ooh, yeah. Okay, we're back. So like I said, this is the mid-season premiere of The Walking Dead season 6, episode 9 and 10, No Way Out and the New World, okay? I do have me some notes and all that shit. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know if I sit there and I just try to spit off the top of my dome, I'm going to be going on and on and on and on, going around the world, and it's going to take me forever. It's probably still going to take me forever to do this review, recap, reaction. But, okay, y'all just stick with your girl. If y'all, you know, enjoy this whole commentary thing, and I apologize in advance for this lighting. I've sat here for the last 20 minutes trying to get this orange, yellow, whatever the hell this crap is off of my thing. I've even lifted up this freaking white paper towel to try to get it to balance. And of course it won't, okay? I've tried everything to try to balance the color in this mug and it still will not balance. So it is what it is. I hope you guys do not mind that. It's not distracting. But if it is, I apologize. Just know that I tried, okay? But let's go ahead and get into the meat potatoes of episode 9, okay? Again, I have my notes here. So, all right, so Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl, we already know from the mid-season finale that they were just, you know, basically barricaded almost damn near by Negan's group, okay? And basically what Negan's group was telling Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham is that, look, with everything that you got inside of this truck, everything that you on your body, as far as your weapons and everything else, it now belongs to Negan, okay? And of course, I was sitting there like, I know that this gang is not about to let these folks just punk them like this, okay? It's just not in their nature to let the folks punk you. But at the same time, you know, as the saying go, you can't really say what the hell you would do unless you're in a situation, okay? So I can't really say what I would do if I got a gun pointed to my damn head. Kind of like on Set It Off. What is the fucking procedure when you got a gun to your hand? I don't know. I can tell you what I would do, you know, on the outside looking in, but if I'm in that situation, girl, ain't no telling what the fuck I would do, just saying, okay? So, like I said, they sitting there, of course, these folks basically telling them, look, this what it's gonna be, this what it ain't gonna be, okay? We need everything y'all got, and of course, they give them what they have, okay? And then they tell them we ain't got nothing else. And they do like, okay, y'all think y'all, you know, I don't know who y'all think y'all fooling, but we know y'all got some more shit, okay? So, Negan's the little ringleader dude, he gets one of his members to get Daryl and take Daryl to the back of the truck, of course, because they ready to ramshack the fucking truck. If they want everything they own. And of course, Sasha and Abraham are standing up there like two fucking deer caught in headlights, like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Okay, like, oh my god. And of course, dude pulls the gun on them and all this type of shit. And he, you know, he basically telling him he finna kill her ass. And of course, Sasha like, you ain't gotta do this. You don't have to do this, okay? You ain't gotta do this stuff. Not on today, girl. It's Black History Month. Why the fuck you gonna try to kill me kind of like they did, what's her brother name? It was Black History Month when they killed this ass girl. Y'all probably don't know that it was Black History Month. Quit playing, okay? Or was that my baby daddy T-Dog they killed on Black History Month? It was one of them. But anyway, like I said, she tells them they don't have to do that or whatever. And of course, he like, I'm not gonna kill you. You know, and of course, I'm like, okay, cool. But what the fuck they gonna do? They gonna take them back to the camp. They gonna try to get it, you know, or the walkers gonna get them back at camp when they try to take them back to the camp and steal stuff from the camp. What's gonna fucking happen? Then all of a sudden, he was like, I ain't gonna kill you. Then all of a sudden, he pulls up his shit back up. He's like, yes, I am. And he's, you know, we thinking he about to kill him. All of a sudden, bitch, they blow the fuck up. I'm talking about everything just explode on they, you know, everybody over there in them, on the motorcycles just blew the fuck up. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Now, I didn't think this had anything to do with Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl at all. I'm thinking somebody out there in the woods. I'm thinking Rick them got free. I'm thinking all this shit then popped off because, of course, that was the opening scene. So I'm thinking Rick and the gang that got free and they came to save the day with Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl. Girl, Daryl then went back there in the back of that damn gas truck, whatever the hell it was. Girl, he didn't wrestle with the man. Let me tell y'all how good these motherfuckers is. He didn't sat there, wrestled with the dude, killed him without making a fucking peep, and came out behind the damn truck with a bazooka, bitch, and blew their ass up right in the midst of him talking about, yes, I am finna kill. I'm talking about with a fucking bazooka, bitch. Bazooka. So Negan's camp, Negan's group, they are null and void at this particular point. The people that he sent now, of course, there's still other people in Negan's camp, and that's gonna play into, you know, upcoming episodes, of course. So that whole little situation, they done, they finito, they blow the fuck to smithereens, okay? So, of course, Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha, they pack their shit back up, get back in their truck, and they heading back to the camp, okay? So that's what's going on with that whole little situation. Let me glance back down at my notes, because like I said, girl, we already at 7 minutes. This probably gonna be a damn 30-minute video. Just says, okay? So that group is, they finito, okay? Finito. So, back at Alexandria, okay, girl, it's way too many fucking walkers. I'm thinking to myself, damn, how long have they been fucking walking? Okay, girl, how long have they been walking? And of course, like I said, there's way too many walkers. So at this point, they already know that they're not going to be able to, walk to wherever the fuck they need to go. They know that they're going to need to get the vehicles in order to drive the walkers away from Alexandria. I mean, there really was no other way for them to do it at that particular point. At least that's what they thought. So, of course, they knew they weren't going to be able to do that shit with Father Gabriel, and they knew they weren't going to be able to do it with Judith, okay? So they decide that Father Gabriel and Judith are going to, and they should have took, what the fuck is his name, Sam? They should have took Sam. We're going to talk about Sam in a minute, but they should have took Sam with her. But anyway, but then again, no, they shouldn't, because that show enough would have been a whole lot of shit night, okay? So, like I said, Father Gabriel and Judith, they decided to send them on to a safe location because they knew they couldn't go and get the cars with them. So they send them on to a safe location, but as they send them on to a safe location, of course, our friend Sam, after they gone by their business, they're walking, and their friend Sam decides that he wants to, you know, start having a fucking panic attack, okay? As he's having a fucking panic attack, they telling him, look, calm down, be strong, etc., etc. The same shit that they was doing in the mid-season finale. The shit that I told y'all I was extra read all about it, pissed off about. Of course, he decides that he's going to do whatever the fuck he's going to do. And, of course, one of the walkers hears his ass. And as the walkers hears his ass, of course, they took a nice, gigantic ass fucking bite out of him. And, of course, girl, I mean, they just started chomping on his. I'm talking about chomping on his ass. I'm not telling how long it's been since some walkers had some food, girl. So, of course, they get to chomping on his ass. And, of course, and you know, as you know, I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine as a parent, when you see your child being fucking, I'm talking about ate up, I'm talking about just they chomping on him, she starts to get, you know, extra emotional. And, you know, Rick tells her, be quiet. I know that, you know, it's again, it's easier said than done when you're on the outside looking in and you have your child who's being eaten by walkers and shit like that. It's easy to say, remain calm and keep it moving, okay? But she just lost it. And I guess as a parent, we got a lot of times, if you see your damn child getting hit by a car, bitch, you probably run out and get hit by a car too, because it's just, girl, I mean, it's a traumatic situation. So she do what the fuck she do, and of course they heal her ass and they get to chomping on her as well, okay? They get to chomping on the mama, which I think her name is, what the hell is her name? Jesse. They get to chomping on Jesse as well. And of course, Rick is sitting there, girl. I mean, the love of his the person he could have possibly loved. It could have been the new Lori, girl. It could have been the new Lori. And of course, he sees the new love of his life getting eaten by some fucking walkers. And as that's happening, of course, you remember they were holding hands when they were coming out of the house because they needed to stick together. Now, Carl was holding onto Jesse's hand. Now, when Jesse started getting eaten by the fucking walkers, I guess shit, motherfucker, I'm dead now. And y'all know I ain't never had a dead person just grab me, but I can only imagine that fucking rigor mortis and shit, you know, and he was holding onto her hand, and as he was holding onto her hand, he couldn't get loose, okay? But Rick, bitch, when you in this type of a situation, when we in a zombie apocalypse, you don't have time to sit there and be crying and all this type of shit. I'm just saying, if you want to survive. So as all this shit is going on, Carl is trying to get loose, but he can't because she has a death grip on his fucking hand. Rick like, oh no ma'am, you're not gonna kill my goddamn child, okay? So Rick gets the fucking saw or whatever the fuck it is, the machete, and he goddamn chops Jesse's arm off. No, you gonna let my child the fuck go. In the meantime, between time, of course, we have Ron, okay? Oh, annoying ass Ron, the same Ron who tried to kill Carl back when all this shit popped off, okay? This same motherfucker, he decides that he wants to pull out the gun. He's going to point the gun at Rick and Carl, okay? As he points the gun at Rick and Carl, Michonne comes up behind him and just, I mean, she gets her machete and she puts that shit directly through his fucking chest. Bitch, I fucking gagged when I seen that shit. I was like, yes, come through, Michonne, come through. Let me tell you, I love y'all. They've been inevitable. I know it's inevitable. It's going to happen eventually. But AMC, okay, the producers and directors of The Walking Dead, you need not to kill off Michonne no time fucking soon. Don't you dare, okay? I'm just saying, it's going to be some pissed off Walking Dead fans if y'all kill off Michonne anytime fucking soon. I know it's going to be a lot of people who probably die before this season is up. Just says, it's gotta happen because it's the fucking Walking Dead. But y'all better not kill off Michonne no time soon. But anyway, Michonne sticks her fucking blade through this nigga chest, of course, and Rick goddamn look at her ass like, yeah. But as she does that, his gun goes off. And of course, when his gun goes off, we thinking this shit just shot up in the fucking air or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But in the process of her killing him, his gun goes off. And then all of a sudden, we see Carl turn around. And Carl's like, Dad. And he looks at Rick. And Carl has a fucking hole in his eye. This dude then shot Carl in his fucking eyeball, y'all. And at first, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, he dead. Okay? Because the way he fell, I just knew he was dead. I mean, like I said, I knew it was going to be some people that died in the mid-season premiere. But I just like, it can't be Carl. Okay? It can't be Carl. I was like, okay, we done killed out their entire little family. Carl cannot die right now. So, of course, Carl falls. And as Carl falls, girl, I thought Rick was finna go motherfucking crazy. And, of course, he kind of low-key did in the beginning. But he knew he had to think quick on his feet. So, they pick Carl up. And, girl, they hit it, okay? They fucking hit it. And they go to their little safe. I mean, they literally just killing walkers. And they got to get to where the fuck they got to get real fast before he fucking died. Because he's been shot in the goddamn eyeball, okay? Anyway, let's move on. So, we're going to talk about Carol and Morgan for a second, okay? Carol and Morgan. Carol basically tells Morgan she really should have killed his ass a long time ago. She should have killed him, which she should have. I said this several times before. I understand that, you know, Morgan has this newfound way of life with the keto shit and, you know, he feels like nobody has to die, etc., etc. But at the same time, like I said, when you are living in a zombie apocalypse, there's no way in hell that you can sit your ass in a zombie apocalypse and decide that you want to save people who are trying to kill you. You can't. This is not the real fucking world anymore. It's just not, okay? This is not the real world. This is a zombie apocalypse, and it's a dog-eat-fucking-dog world. And if you feel like you want to go and save people, what you need to do, you need to go out on your own and get away from us, okay? If Rick just so haven't decided he don't want to kill this motherfucker, he need to let Morgan go on about his business and live on his own. Just saying. So she basically tells the motherfucker that she wish she would have went ahead and killed his ass, you know, and probably some of this shit probably would have never happened, which it probably, the walkers getting in probably still would have happened, but the other stuff probably wouldn't happen as far as Denise being kidnapped by him and all this type of shit. So all that shit happens, and of course, the wolf, he's kidnapped Denise at this point, and he's basically trying to get Denise to I don't know if he's trying to get her to a safe location or what the fuck he's trying to do with her. But anyways, as they're going to wherever the fuck they're going, the wolf ends up getting bit by one of the fucking walkers. Okay, the wolf ends up getting bit. Now, as the wolf gets bit, Denise tells the fucking wolf that if if you get me to such and such place, then I can save your life. Then all of a sudden, of course, the wolf, people think the wolf had a change of heart, but my thing is this: we will never know if the wolf had a change of heart, or if this motherfucker is kind of like a chameleon. He can change his fucking colors at any time that he wants to change his color. So we don't know if he actually had a change of heart, or if he was just doing this whole little switcheroony thing to get Denise to save his fucking life. Because at this point, motherfucker, you just bit, you pretty much finito, dead, okay? But as Denise is getting this dude to take her to this safe location or whatever, Carol looks out of the window. She sees this wolf and Denise, and she shoots and kills this son bitch as the walkers are chasing them. She shoots and kills the walker. Now, mind you, this whole time, don't nobody know that Denise told this man that she can get him to a safe location, okay? Nobody knows this just yet. I don't know if they ever gonna find it out. Really, honest and true, I don't even think it's fucking relevant. But Carol saw him, killed him, and the wolf is done finito. We'll never know if he had a change of heart or if he was just trying to do a good deed as far as getting Denise to a safe location to save his own ass. We will never know that because the motherfucker's finito, dead right now, okay? We can only assume. And me personally, if you want to know my assumption, I'm going to assume that his ass, he really didn't have no change of heart. He's just he's a wolf. He can fucking manipulate a situation to get what the fuck he wants when he wants it. So I really don't think he had a change of heart, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, we're going to move on from that. Just saying. All right. So, Rick gets, Carl to the safe location in where Denise is with the medical supplies and all this type of shit just in fucking time, okay? And as he gets him in there and, he basically tells Denise to save him. Save my baby, okay? Save my goddamn baby. And, they're doing whatever the fuck they have to do in there. But he goes batshit crazy. And he's like, look, no, fuck this, okay? Rick goes fucking crazy. And he decides that he's going to go out there and he's going to battle these walkers on his fucking own. He already knows that, shit just hit the fucking fan. He knows at this point that, look, my son probably finna fucking die. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna make sure I go out fucking swinging at this point. So he goes out there. He's basically slicing and dicing, shooting and killing walkers, doing what the fuck he has to do. And of course, when the whole gang realizes that Rick ain't fucking playing, he's out there doing his stuff thizzle, they like, okay, we can't leave him out there by ourselves. So of course, Michonne go out to help. Everybody goes out there to help him with the exception, of course, of Denise. Because Denise is in there trying to save Carl's life. And, they're going out there doing their thug thizzle, and girl, they work together as a team, and they end up getting, killing the majority of the walkers. But eventually, of course, they start getting cornered. Okay, they start getting cornered in one little section of the thing. Of course, I don't even really know if we need to talk about Enid and Glenn at this particular point, because they didn't really have a whole big gigantic scene in this. I mean, they had a little bit of a part, and of course, Maggie right now knows that Glenn is alive, of course, and the walkers were cornering Glenn as well. And of course, Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl, they show up, and they save the fucking day, okay? They end up saving the day. They end up building this trench, and, they putting the gas in there from the truck, and they're basically guiding the walkers down into this basically lake of fucking fire, okay? So they basically saved the day. Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl. And that's basically how that episode goes off. And of course, Rick goes back to where Carl is, and Carl is sitting there with his fucking patch on his eye. Rick is talking to him, and I ain't gonna lie, but your bitch almost got a little bit emotional, okay? Almost got a little bit emotional, during that whole little scene right there. But of course, before it went off, Carl ends up, closing the palm of his hand on his father's hand. And of course, at that point, we already know, after that happened, we know that Carl is going to pull through from this situation, okay? So that's basically the synopsis of episode 9, which is No Way Out. I want to know what you guys thought about episode 9, No Way Out. Let me tell you something. As far as this being the mid-season premiere, I think that was one of the absolute best episodes of The Walking Dead of all freaking time. I think that's one of the absolute best episodes, with the exception, I think one of my other one of the other episodes that I thought was really, really great was the episode with when the governor came to not Alexandria, when the governor came to the prison and they were all fighting right there. I liked that episode as well. It was a lot of them that I really, really liked, but I think this one had a whole lot of action going on in it, a whole lot of fucking action going on in it, and I think that it was one of the absolute best. Of course, how they did the still shots with them killing the walkers, and I just thought it was really, really it was a great showing of how the people of Alexandria and the new group being Rick's group, how they're basically working together to reclaim Alexandria. They're working together to do it. And I thought this was an absolute excellent episode. And I think it was jam-packed with goodies and all this type of shit. So let me know what y'all thought about that episode down in the comment section below. Now we're going to move on to episode 10, which is the New World, okay? But, of course, we're going to have to take a little bit of a commercial break. So let me go ahead and take this commercial break, and I'll be back in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Episode 10, the New World. Okay, I don't know for y'all, but for me, it appeared that the New World was possibly days or possibly weeks later. I don't know. I couldn't really tell. I mean, clearly, it wasn't the next day. I mean, because if you guys noticed, there were no more walkers anywhere around. I'm talking about, they had killed a whole gang of fucking walkers. Before the walkers walked, a lot of the walkers walked into the lake of fire. A lot of them they actually killed. So all of that stuff was cleaned up. So it was clearly, to me, appeared to be weeks later, possibly. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all think the timeline was. It definitely wasn't the same day or the next day. But anyway, of course, like I said, weeks later or days later, we see Rick waking up, just waking up and shit. And of course, Michonne is standing there looking all fucking divalicious, girl. Did y'all peek that? Michonne was looking extra divalicious, had on her robe, had her hair tied up, was sitting there sipping on her tea and shit, just looking like a fucking family. Okay, that's what I peeked in the beginning. I'm kind of like, oh shit, this kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? Michonne ain't got her own crib. She living with Rick, and Carl, and girl, I just thought it was, they just was one big happy gigantic ass family, girl. Just saying. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But, of course, and then all of a sudden we see Carl, with his bandaged eye, of course, okay, now he's, one-eyed Jack, just fucking saying, he's walking around with, Judas or whatever, and they basically sitting there joking around, because Michonne is telling Carl that she wants to borrow some toothpaste and all this type of shit, and he's like, I'm out of toothpaste, and, Rick is like, he finna go out with Daryl on this scavenger hunt, basically, to look for some food and supplies and all this type of shit, and she basically tells him, look, I like this, I like this, I like that, and all this type of shit. So basically, they just sitting around, just joking around and all that type of stuff. Because, of course, even though it's the zombie apocalypse, girl, you got to have a little bit of laughter in your fucking life. Otherwise, you're just going to be a hot, shitty-ass mess the entire time. So they sitting around joking and all that type of stuff, okay? So, like I said, Rick is about to head out with Daryl on this little scavenger hunt and all this type of shit. And as they're going, Denise tells Daryl to make sure that, if he can find some soda and things like that. And he's like, why soda? Why all this type of shit? And she basically tells Daryl that, Terrell likes soda. And we already know that, Denise and Terrell, they licking each other's snatch. We already know that. Just says. And so, she basically wants to treat Terrell to some soda. So she tells Daryl he finds some soda, just bring the shit back if you can. Okay, don't go out there and get your ass killed looking for no dank-danks. But if you can find some, bring some home. So that's that whole little situation there. So like I said, as they're heading out, they get in the, what the fuck is that shit, a Chrysler looks like? They get in the Chrysler and they're heading out to look for some shit, and all of a sudden they see this abandoned, what looks like a barn to me. They see this abandoned barn and they decide to go over there just to, scope it out or whatever to make sure ain't nothing in there. Because anytime you see a building, you need to make sure that it's clear of all supplies. You need to make sure you scavenge the place for supplies if you can safely. So they go and they, decide that they're going to look in this place. And as they open the thing, girl, not only do they find fucking supplies, they find a walker-free place with a big, gigantic ass truck. And I don't know about y'all, when I first seen them when they opened up that truck, girl, number one, it wasn't locked, okay? The truck wasn't locked, and when they opened it, it had all those supplies in it. I thought some shit was, strange in the water with that whole situation. I don't know if y'all was thinking to yourself, something ain't right with this goddamn truck. But I was thinking to myself, something is not right with this truck. But as they opened it, it had a whole lot of supplies in it, and apparently had food in it, because I did hear Rick say that it had food in it, okay? So they decided to ditch the car, get the truck, and head back to Alexandria. But as they're heading back to Alexandria, of course, they stop at this gas station because, Daryl, he needs to get some fucking soda, and they see a vending machine and all this type of shit. And of course, Rick asked him, like, what's up with the damn, vending machine? Why we need to stop and get the vending machine or whatever? And basically, he like, look, I need to get some soda. Denise says she wants some soda, motherfucker. She the one who saved your goddamn son. She the one who they're, working on folks and all this type of shit. So we need to get this goddamn girl some soda for her woman. Just fucking saying, okay? She's the one who's saving our lives back at the camp, okay? Back at the OK Corral. So as they're doing all that stuff, as they're, looking in the vending machine and all this shit, this dude in a damn trench coat with his face covered and all this shit with a hat on. I mean, he comes running around the damn building, around the gas station, and, you know, they're like, of course, they pull their gun on him. And they're like, well, who the fuck are you? What are you doing? Who you running from? Okay. Now, mind you, this dude has a fresh shaved beard. I mean, he is clean cut. He is clean. He don't look dirty at all. So, of course, he tells them the reason why he's running from like a herd of walkers. He's like, you look, we got about 15 minutes before the herd get here. He said it was about 10 walkers and all this type of shit. So, of course, Rick wants to bring some new people into the camp because there's a lot of people that's dead right now. Rick wants to bring some new people in to kind of build the camp back up or whatever, and all this type of shit. So of course, in the process of them got the gun pulled on the man, Rick decided he's gonna ask him all these fucking questions and all this type of stuff. Ask the man, do you have a camp? Man like, no, I ain't got no camp, etc., etc. And the man asked him, do y'all got a camp? He was like, no. Okay, so of course Rick is asking him this slew of questions, but the dude basically, he's like, look, we got like this many men before we gotta go. Okay. So, like I said, the dude, he's asking him all his questions and all this stuff, and Rick tells him his name. Of course, Daryl ain't here for the shit. Daryl looking at Rick like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you having a conversation with this random-ass dude? Okay, all the shit that we just went through. We don't need to be having a conversation with random-ass people right now, especially after all the wolf situation. We don't know who the fuck this dude is. But Rick is, you know, he's on a different wavelength right now. So, like I said, he's asking this dude all these fucking questions, and all of a sudden the dude like, look, I gotta go. So the dude take off the fucking running or whatever, and he tells him, you know, Rick tells him his name. The dude like, my name is such and such, but my friends call me Jesus, etc., etc. So as they're doing all of that, all of a sudden they hear what appeared to be bang, 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 what appeared to be gunshots. So, of course, Daryl and Rick grab their weapons and they run around the building to see what the fuck it is. But it turns out that it's not gunshots. It's some fucking fireworks, okay? It's some fireworks. This damn dude who calls himself Jesus then put some fireworks around the fucking building, pretending, you know, making, of course, Rick and Daryl think it's fireworks. And, of course, as they're doing that, they have a fucking blind moment and they're like, oh, my God. This dude finna steal the fucking truck. So, of course, this dude is fucking some type of magician or some shit. He fucking ends up getting the keys off of them some type of way. And he gets in the truck and he takes the fuck off. Okay? Just, woo, see you later. Bye-bye. Have a good day, etc., etc. So, of course, they sitting there looking like, oh, my fucking God. But in the process, the vending machine that they were looking at was tied to the back of this truck that they had. So, of course, they take off the runner behind the truck like, motherfucker, we ain't finna let you just get away like that. Fuck you. So, they're chasing this truck. But, of course, we know they're not just going to catch up to it like that. But, thankfully, the vending machine was hooked onto the back of it, so they were able to follow the trail. Now, as they follow the trail, they get to a point where they see this dude. I guess he probably thought they weren't going to chase him for this amount of time or whatever, but they were running non-fucking stop. And, of course, the vending machine ended up breaking off the back of the truck, and they were able to stop and get something to drink and all this type of shit because, girl, they've been running, girl. Their backs is soaking fucking wet, okay? Back soaking wet. But as they are doing that, they see the dude down a little bit further. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he had some technical difficulties. I don't know if some shit was going on with the truck or what was going on, but he ended up stopping, of course, and they saw his ass. So they go sneaking through the woods to creep around to the part, you know, the spot where he was. Girl, they get out there and they trying to, you know, they pull the gun on him again. This dude knows some of that Aikido shit that Morgan know, girl, because he is literally whipping their goddamn ass. But of course, they end up drawing their weapons on him, etc., etc. And like, look, this is my last time asking your ass. Give me the goddamn keys. I'm gonna blow your ass in smithereens, of course. But of course, they have some type of, well, Rick has some type of, you know, sympathy for this dude, and he decides not to kill him again, so they decide to tie his ass up. Instead of killing him, they decide to tie him up this time, okay? Tie him up and leave him. Now, he like, y'all gonna leave me here like this, okay? Rick like, look, man, these ropes ain't tied too tight, okay? They not tied too tight, so once we leave, it won't take you that long to get yourself loose and go on about your goddamn business, okay? Which, I was thinking to myself, ain't no way in the hell you should leave this dude like he is, to go back wherever the fuck he's going, and end up finding y'all camp. There's no way you should be doing no shit like this. But anyway, he leaves the dude there tied up. So him and Daryl get in the truck and they going on about their goddamn business. Okay, as they're going on about their business, all of a sudden, they hear some shit on the goddamn roof. Okay, I mean, literally they hear some shit on. Let me make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself here. All right. Yep. Yeah, that's basically what happens. So anyway, they drive off, leaving his ass there tied up or whatever. And apparently this motherfucker got some tricks up his goddamn sleeve, because as they're driving, they hear banging on top of the roof. Okay, they hear banging on top of the roof, and they're like, this motherfucker on the roof. Now, mind you, they done left this dude way behind them, tied up. They done left full speed in this truck. All of a sudden, they hear banging on the roof, and they're like, this motherfucker is on the roof. And I'm thinking to myself, what type of David Blaine shit is this? How does man get on the goddamn roof? So, of course, Rick slams on the brakes, and as Rick slams on the brake, the dude rolls off the top of the fucking hood, and they're in, like, this field or whatever. As they're in the field, I guess Rick is trying to, he's gonna run the dude over, hit the dude with the truck, and all this shit. But of course, Daryl got some other shit up his sleeve. Daryl decides to open the fucking door, and he's gonna chase the dude down. As he's chasing the dude down and shit, they get to tussling and wrestling after he ends up catching the dude. But I don't know if y'all peeped this. It was some walkers that were coming. The walkers had got loose from this truck or whatever. They was the fucking rope that they was tied to apparently had it dry rotted or whatever, girl. It was some old dry rotted ass rope. And the walkers were heading towards them. So as they were struggling in the truck, because Rick had got out, Rick was getting out of the truck to go and help Daryl. But girl, I don't remember what the fuck was going on with Rick. What the fuck was Rick? Was Rick fighting off walkers? I think that's what it was. I think he was fighting off walkers. But the dude ends up jumping into the truck. Okay, as Rick hadn't got out and he was fighting off the walkers and shit. Oh boy, the Jesus dude hadn't jumped in the truck. But as he jumped in the truck, of course, Daryl is trying to fight his ass, punching him and all this shit. But there's a walker that's coming up behind him. And this is the point where I'm thinking Daryl is about to fucking die. I'm thinking to myself, Daryl is about to die at this point. I'm thinking the walker's going to bite his ass. But the dude pulls out a gun. And I'm thinking he pointed at Daryl. He tells Daryl to duck. As he tells Daryl to duck, he kills the walker. So we already know at this point, this dude is not trying to kill them. If he wanted to kill them, he could have at that particular point. He could have at least killed Daryl at that point. But he killed the walker instead. And as he does that, of course, Daryl pulls them out. He said thank you and knocked the dude out and pulled him out of the truck. And they get to tussling. And the whole time, the truck is in reverse. So as these three fucking students are there fighting and shit, the fucking truck filled with food and supplies is basically in reverse, backing down this hill, and there's a fucking lake right there. So all of a sudden the truck rolls down this hill and goes into the fucking lake. So now they have no fucking food. But in the process of the truck being in reverse and rolling into the lake, Rick and Daryl, they get out of the way. But oh boy, Jesus, okay, Jesus get knocked. This motherfucker get knocked out cold by the door, okay? Get knocked out cold by the fucking door. So of course he out like a fucking light at this particular point. Now, Daryl wanted to leave his ass out down the field, okay? But Rick has this change of heart. He was like, look, man, this man wasn't armed. He didn't pull a gun on us not one time. Matter of fact, he saved our ass. So Rick has a little bit of compassion. He don't want to leave him out there. So Rick wants to bring him back to Alexandria and put him in the little dungeon thing, the same dungeon thing I'm assuming that they had the wolf in. I don't even fucking know the dungeon that they had Morgan in. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same little cell or whatever the fuck it is. So they tie the dude up and take his ass and back to Alexandria with them and put them in there, okay? So that's what happened with that whole little situation right there. All right. So Carl decides, back at the OK Corral, Carl decides to take Enid into the woods, et cetera, because Carl feels like, they're kids and they're supposed to do kid things. And kid things include going and playing around in the woods. And Enid is like, look, man, they out there having, doing whatever the fuck they doing at their little secret spot. But Enid, she don't feel like they need to be out there in the fucking woods. Enid feels like it's dangerous to be out in the woods and they don't need to be out there. But Carl tells her, well, look, you go on back home. Go home, do what the fuck you gonna do. I'm gonna stay out here. But in the process, they hear something, and then he looks over, and it's Spencer and Michonne. So they looking like, what the fuck is Spencer and Michonne doing out here? Now we later find out that Michonne was, she was on watch over the tower or whatever. And while she was on watch, she noticed Spencer going out into the woods, and she wanted to see what the fuck he was doing. So that's the whole, synopsis of why they were in the woods. So Carl ends up seeing them in the woods, and as they notice them in the woods, they also notice they're not alone, because Enid is basically telling him, look, let's go back for some shit pop off, etc., etc. But he doesn't want to go. So they end up seeing a walker, okay? Enid is ready to kill the fucking walker. But, of course, Carl is not ready to kill the walker. We later find out that the walker that Carl sees and he's running from is Deanna, okay? We later find out that the walker is Deanna, and it's a reason why, because at first I'm thinking to myself, did Carl get shot in the eye and the motherfucker stupid not to the point where he don't want to kill walkers no more? That's what I'm thinking to myself. but there was a little bit deeper of a, you know, a reasoning behind him not wanting Enid or himself to kill the walker. Okay, so all of a sudden, Michonne notices Carl in the woods running from this walker, and of course she goes over, and her and Spencer go over rather, and they notice that the walker is Deanna, and of course he tells Michonne that's the reason why, because apparently, you know, Spencer has been going out into the woods several times since this whole situation happened with his mother turning into a walker. He's been going out into the woods several times to look for her, because apparently he said he saw her out there before, and he wanted to be the one to, you know, go ahead and kill her and not let her just be wandering around the woods like that. So, of course, you know, he sees her, and Michonne sees her, and Michonne, you know, kind of holds her back while Spencer gets his knife and he sticks her in the back of the, you know, killing her with it, sticks her in the back of the neck and kills her. And basically he tells Michonne that's the reason why I've been coming out here, and I feel like I needed to be out here alone, because I felt like I needed to be the one to do what I needed to do with my mother. And that's the whole reason why Carl didn't kill Deanna, the walker, because he wanted Spencer to do it, because he knew that that's who should have been killing her was Spencer. So that's the whole reason behind that whole little situation right there. Okay, all right. And then after they kill her and all that type of shit, of course, they take her and, you know, dig a hole and bury her and put a D in the tree or whatever, you know, as her headstone or whatever. So, you know, they did the shit humanely. He didn't want his mom just walking around out in the woods. So I totally understand that, okay? All right. So back at the OK Corral Beach, okay? Back at the OK motherfucking Corral. Rick and Daryl, they're back at the crib over. They done already put this dude Jesus down in the little dungeon situation. He's already off doing what the fuck he needs to do. And Rick came back to the house. Rick now is laying on the couch sleep. And of course, Michonne comes back in, and, you know, she's playfully kicking Rick's hands like, move, you know, move. And of course she goes to slump down on the couch beside him, and bitch, I was thinking to myself, damn, she sure is mighty close to Rick, bitch. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but I was like, she sure is mighty close to Rick. So of course they're having a conversation. She's asking him about his day. He's like, I had a horrible day. I had a, you know, crazy day. He's like, I found a person. And she was like, you know, it's a dude or whatever. And, you know, they're just basically having this conversation. Michonne asked him, you know, do you want to talk about it? He was like, not right now. And she was like, I feel you, because I had a horrible day too, okay? And I found a person. But the person she found was not a live person. The person that she found was, of course, Deanna. So they're not, you know, they decided they're not going to want to talk about their horrible day. They're just going to sit there and be flirty and all this type of shit. Then all of a sudden, bitch, okay? All of a sudden, Rick grabs Michonne's hand, bitch. They're like, bitch. Of course, then the music comes on. And, bitch, next thing we know, they get to fucking lip and locking, okay? They get to fucking lip and locking, girl. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my fucking God, is it about to fucking happen? And so now we have the, what are people calling it? The relationship or some shit like that. But girl, they're lip locking, and next thing we know, girl, they are booty ass naked in the bed. And we already know they done had some hot steamy ass sex. We already know that it went down in that motherfucking room. It went down in that room. It went down in that room. It went down. Hey, it went down in that room. We already know it went down, okay? So they in there booty ass naked or whatever, girl, sleep, because they just didn't, they just been KO'd, okay? They didn't have some hot sex, okay? So they didn't KO, they're not knocked out, buck naked. Then all of a sudden we hear, Rick, we gotta talk. So of course Rick and Michonne, they jump up, because girl, you know, they thinking they themselves, who the fuck is this in our goddamn room, girl? Because we already know Rick and Michonne don't play that shit. They are some secure motherfuckers. So for somebody to be able to get into their room, it must be a good ass son bitch. And the fool who in there is this Jesus dude. Again, not only did this dude, okay, this dude done stole their damn truck, okay? He stole their truck. He, then they tied him up. He on top of the fucking roof after they didn't fucking full speed down the road. He didn't somehow was able to get on the roof. Okay. He done got knocked out by this car. Y'all done put him in this damn, you know, in his dungeon room with a lock on it. And Daryl is supposed to be watching this dude. Y'all done sat there and had some hot steamy sex, and this dude was able to get inside of your room. Girl, okay? I don't know who this dude is or what the fuck he got going on, but he is a serious ass individual. So is he Jesus for real? Is he Jesus for real? Okay? Is he David Blaine little brother? Who the fuck is he? Because I'm scared. Okay? I am seriously scared at this particular point. So that is basically how episode 10, The New World, went out. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed this too. Okay, back at the back at the gas station when he was, you know, they were basically asking him his name. He told him, he said, "This is the next world. I hope it's good to you guys. My name is Paul, but my friends call me Jesus." He was telling them this is the next world. So what the fuck does that mean exactly? So we need to know who this dude Paul is and what the fuck is going on and how he's able to get out of all of these, you know, hard situations that normal people would not be able to get out of. Girl, is he really Jesus? That's what we need to know. So I'm excited to see the next episode this coming Sunday. I want you guys to tell me what you guys thought about this episode as well. Let me know what you guys thought about both of them, No Way Out and The New World. And let me know who you think, what are your predictions, okay? I don't really want to give any predictions because I have no earthly idea, because we already know The Walking Dead is so unpredictable. But, you know, and people were saying in the comics that, of course, people were saying in the comics that Carl got shot in the comics. I don't read the fucking comics. Not saying anything bad to anybody who does read the comics, but me personally, I don't want it spoiled. And I know the comics are not, you know, exact to what's going to happen on the show, but a lot of the shit that's happened in the comics has happened. Now, from my understanding, Andrea is still alive in the comics, okay? Andrea is still alive. Who the fuck? Somebody else is dead. I think Daryl is not in the comics right now. I don't know. I think Glenn is dead in the comics. I don't know exactly. All I know is I don't read the fucking comics. I don't want to know what goes on in the comics, to be brutally honest with you, because I feel like it's a spoiler to me. I want to be surprised when I tune in on Sundays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to be surprised about what is going to happen. And both of these episodes, I think, were absolutely amazing. Thank you, AMC. Thank you to the producers and directors of Walking Dead for not disappointing, okay? For not disappointing me for this mid-season premiere. And thank you for finally seeing what all of us wanted to see, which was Michonne and Rick get it on, okay? And I hope they turn into one big happy family. I hope it ain't no she is not either a palm soft girl. Y'all know, girl, it's an interracial situation going on, girl. We don't know how people gonna feel about that, girl, but bitch, it is a zombie apocalypse. It is 2016, okay? I don't give a damn if it is a zombie apocalypse, girl. Come get with the times, okay, girl? We are ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of cream in your coffee, okay, girl? Just saying. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Leave comments down in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up for more of these Walking Dead recaps, reviews, reactions, all this good old stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.